the side effect of being around a lot of mitochondrial energy is the energy that it projects comes out at a 532 hertz, which causes the cells in the body to realign to a formation called stasis.
Right. Okay. Homeostasis.
Stasis is just balance.
Okay.
Homeostasis is the bodily balance. Okay,
Now,
so
it makes sense. It all makes sense.
right, because now if you reverse engineer the source of the energy, the women can turn your mitochondrial up just by loving you unconditionally.
Definitely.
Now,
Definitely.
the side effect, or what we call the reverse effect, is this. If she has an agenda attached to it, it in turn generates a stifling effect on your mitochondria. It causes the man to break down because the love is conditional. There's an agenda attached to it, and it blocks the heart chakra. So this is why the earth rule or the earth rights is, if she can love him like his mama unconditionally, then his mama gonna love her unconditionally. If she got an agenda, his mama will never accept her because her energy doesn't come in unconditionally. So her mama and her gonna always be at odds.
Always.
Right? So when you're talking about restoring the family, the mother is going to guide you through your heart space if you can trust the love. If you trust the love as true, that means you can follow the wisdom. Because the wisdom is only going to travel the path of the love.
Yeah, it's deep. And it makes sense because that's why, like, you feel me? Like, so I'm polygamous, you feel me? Me and my goddess, we've been polygamous since 2016. So it's like, I notice, like, you feel me, when I'm amongst, like, the divine feminine, you feel me? You know, I loosen up. And it showed me, like humor, like having a sense of humor, that's a feminine energy. And a lot of us, you feel like when we amongst the guys and the gods, we want to, I mean, we don't really want, we be serious, you feel me? Really got no time to play, everything be straight face, no mistakes, no nothing. But when I'm amongst the goddesses, you feel me, I crack jokes, you feel me, smile way more often. And I noticed that, you feel me, the goddesses bring the gods balance, you know, and it's like that's why in jail is so, if they have their wives in jail, you feel me, if they could see, man, jail is making them niggas so imbalanced. That's why motherfuckers killing themselves in the, you feel me, the suicide rate in jail is at a whole all-time high. You feel me? But at the same time, you feel me, like it makes sense, you feel me? Because,
hey, you know how I used to talk guys out of suicide when I was locked up?
What's that?
I say, look, I ain't got no problem killing me, but before I kill me, I got to kill every one of them motherfuckers first.
Right.
So until you get to the point where you're willing to kill every one of them first, you're not ready to kill yourself.
Right. Exactly.
And so many guys come to me years later and be like, man, why you brain fuck me like that?
Hey, this shit crazy. I ain't gonna stop, man. Hey, I promise, man, I was locked up. And this nigga had killed himself, you feel me? He was a BD from Markham, you feel me? His last name was Miller. We was in a hole together. I was in confinement. He was right next door to me. But anyway, he ended up killing himself. But before he killed himself, Joe, before he hung himself, you feel me? I was trying to talk him out of that shit too, like everybody on the wing was. And we told the staff and everything. I told staff, like, hey, you better watch his ass on that, you feel me? And they weren't trying to hear that shit, but I told them, like, shit, like, you know we gonna die, right? Everybody gonna die, so, like, why you rushing it? You feel me? We gonna get our chance to go, you feel me? And then you gonna come right back here. So it's like you might as well figure this shit out, deal with this shit because, or you may not even come back. It's some people like that don't get a chance to make it back to experience life. You feel me? It's deep because like we are consciousness, and consciousness, the only way we can express ourselves is through a body or a vessel, whether it be a plant, insect, a human, or an animal. The only way without a body we can't express consciousness. We would just be like infinite awareness with no way to express it. And it's souls, is lost souls on the other side that can't get to this side. They and these are like the spirits and the ghosts, you feel me, or all of the shit that's trying to portal back in. And sometimes they hijack vessels, they hijack motherfuckers' bodies and all type of shit. But it's like we won't always want to be on the righteous path, on a loving, healing path. The nature showed me that healing, you know, is a love frequency. So anytime, you know, this why I built my tribe on healing practices. You feel me? Anybody that comes to the tribe, they have to be healed. If they feel like they don't need to be healed from anything, why not? Tribe is not formed because we identify, you know, life is a healing process. The spiritual journey is a healing journey. You feel me? Only time we'll be fully healed 100% is when we, you know, transition. So, you know, but healing, it showed me, it connected me to so many people with a different level of love that I never was able to experience dealing with, you know, niggas in the street and shit, Joe. So it's like healing and you know, that big mama mitochondrial, you know, in the soil, all that shit is in alignment. You feel me? The divine feminine energy is like, it's deep, man, because like a lot of goddesses don't even know they power, but they very powerful, man. Like for real, we wouldn't be shit without the divine feminine.
Yeah, and the killing thing is they got them thinking they need to get ass injections, titty injections, lip injections, Botox in the forehead, around the neck, under the ears, between the breasts. By the time they get done getting all that shit, like, what the fuck is you doing?
Exactly.
Because the most powerful woman out there is the woman that's in that pure feminine expression of herself.
Exactly. And I used to be attracted to like the quote unquote bad bitches, but like now I don't even like them be the last women I look at, like for real. And it just showed me like how insecure they really is. Like I'm not against, you feel me, makeup or weave or wigs or anything, because we the innovators and the creators of all of that. The ancient Egyptians was wearing wigs, extensions, makeup,
hey, look,
all that shit.
I did a
But as
post
far as
on
like
that
the
2 years
surgeries,
ago.
yeah. It's like the surgeries you was just talking about here. Yeah, you know a motherfucker is really insecure. Like, and man, I done fell in love with some big women, like overweight women. And it's like I love a confident woman. I don't give no fuck if she on a scale of 1 through 10, her looks may be a 4 or 5. As long as she got confidence, that's like that's what I'm looking for. You feel me? That's so attractive. You feel me? It could be the baddest chick, the quote unquote baddest chicks with a nasty ass attitude. You feel me? And, you know, they carry a certain smell to them, like for real, because it's deep, man. Man, G. The bad chicks, they got the most, you know, they got the highest standards, you feel me? And they move in a certain way, but whole time they trying to cover themselves up, you feel me? And they ain't satisfied with the way they was born, you know, but it's like.
Well, that's the society we live in, is actively teaching that to the children. Now, if we go back and study the history of psychology, we'll see that they done psychological research in order to determine how to mind fuck the children as early as possible. Right? And this is why a lot of the prenatal care is ultrasound. What the fuck is an ultrasound? Look at what it is. Listen to the word ultrasound. You blasting this baby with sound waves, right? While he's trying to organize his genetic makeup of himself. The doulas can tell you everything that damn ultrasound can tell you without disturbing the development of the child in the womb, right? Based on her experience.
Definitely.
See, they want to use all of them things because they know how it affects the developing mind of the fetus. Because they got a whole field of psychology dedicated to studying the developing brain and mind of the fetus. Why do you want to know that shit? Right? When you start going into the secret societies and then you understand that the Catholic Church want to learn how to control your child as early as the womb. It's in their literature. I'm like, what the fuck kind of fuck shit is this?
Yeah, that shit crazy. Evil, wicked.
Right?
All they really
Now,
gotta do is
our
control the
people
blood,
not
bro.
aware of that though. On the collective level, our people not aware that these religions and educational institutions and these political institutions is there to make us not tap in to our higher ability to make decisions.
Discernment.
And
The
interfering
pinnacles
with
of
our thinking
discernment.
pattern.
The pinnacles of discernment is stop us from reaching it. Now it's deep, and all they really got to do is control the blood. If you control the blood, you can control the fetus. You know, because the baby, when the baby is from the menstrual blood. You know, that's the soil. That's the soil of the body. You feel me? And that menstrual blood develops a pressure. That pressure becomes the heartbeat. That's why that heart is start off as a clock in the beginning, and then the spine, and then the skull, brain, the rest of the organs. But it started off from the heart, which came from the menstrual blood. So it's deep, and it's a code knowledge. This is why a menstrual blood is it's a sacred substance when we dealing with certain type of ancient arts and practices, man.
Look, the sisters used to only come on menses when they decided that they wanted to make a baby.
Wait, they
Right?
used to control. Hold on, they could control it.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you what happened. I'm going to tell you how I got hijacked.
Yeah.
All right. When they used to control it, and they used to only come on the cycle when they are preparing to be mothers and to have a baby.
Right. Okay.
Right. Now, a reference to what I'm talking about, if you look at modern gymnasts, most of them don't hit puberty till they're in their 20s.
Gymnasts?
Yeah.
Like a gymnastic?
Yeah, I think Dominique Dawes didn't get her menstrual cycle till she was like 21.
Oh, okay. All right, for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
But they blame it on the sport. Right? No, it's not the sport. It's the harnessing of the Shakti of those high-powered women. They learning how to control their inner energy. But when they retire from the sport, they let it go. They let the energy flow free, and it tells them, okay, she's retired now. We can go have a baby and be a mother. Right? Then it turns her biological clock on. Right? But years ago, the women used to be able to say, I'm going to have a baby. They would have one cycle, then the next cycle they was pregnant. The first cycle they would let it run because it takes all of the impurities and draw it from her body, and then it cleans her out so the uterus is ready to start on this next cycle ovulating. Right? So the first one to be cleansed. So what happened? Now remember in Genesis it said that they told Eve that she would travail in childbirth. They took the control from the woman when they put this satellite up here called the moon. They used to operate off Lilith energy. Lilith in the story was overtaken by Eve. They recalibrated the menstrual cycle of the women to force them to breathe by putting the moon there and calibrating her mitochondria to the moon.
Yeah, this shit deep. That shit deep because the moon got a direct influence on a woman's menstrual cycle.
Yeah.
Like I teach my goddess how to track her menstrual cycle. You feel me? Doing new transits because her shit be switching up sometimes. So, but she on point as long as she pay attention to up above, she'll be on point. That's deep, though. Hey, and we gotta dive deep in on me with as far as like they put the moon up there. But I want to get I definitely want to take up all the time on your live. I know you probably got a million other invites
Oh,
to
I was
come up.
intending to, when I came over there to holler at you, I was intending to do the live with you.
Oh, okay, for sure, God. I want to
Yeah,
build. I want to.
I ain't just neglecting the people that's in there. It's just that when I was
Okay,
intending to do this live with you once when I came over there and hollered at you,
man. I
because
appreciate
we
it,
was
God.
already on the same frequency. So
Definitely,
I figured
definitely,
this probably the energy that Big Mama want us to exchange.
definitely, definitely,
So right, so that's why I wasn't tripping.
definitely. But but I want to dive in. I want to dive in on like a quick question. How you feel about physical immortality, and what type of meditations you went to?
Um, I study all of the meditations, and periodically I practice different ones, but primarily I do a kinetic meditation where when I start performing a task, I use the task as like the earth anchor while I travel in meditation.
You had mentioned some earlier. You said you developed you start
Kinetic kinetic meditation.
you said you was at work. You started going to work and you was doing something so you can make sure you know your people's good while you were away or something. And that sound like
Right. So I
remote. Was
structure
that remote viewing? Because that's what it
I
sounded like to me, bro. On the real.
look, I study remote viewing and I actually ordered the book from
Mm,
work and read the book at work and started practicing the shit on the job,
yeah. Hey, that shit. Hey, for
right?
everybody, for all the
But I had
skeptics, that shit
already been
real.
yeah, I had already been doing kinetic meditations from when I was locked up while I used to work. I
Mm-hmm.
started with the mop, right? I started using the mop like a pendulum to focus my mind,
Mm,
right? And at this time, as I was doing memory exercises to that I had got out of a book
mm-hmm.
to help me increase my memory. And so I'm using all of these things going on at the same time. I feel like I'm goddamn juggling monkeys,
Mm, mm,
right? Because I'm getting different parts of my mind to perform a function separate from the other part while I perform a physical function with the body,
mm-hmm.
right? Now, once the brain or the mind gets bent out of proportion from what it was, it can't never go back.
It can't never go back. Yeah, that's a
Once
fact,
you
bro.
learn, yeah, once you learn a certain amount of information, you can't unlearn that shit. Right? Now your higher self, while you learning all this shit, is organizing the information for you.
Mm, mm-hmm.
So when you figure out if I can train my memory for 6 months or a year, by the end of the year, even if it's 3 times better than it is, I'm balling out of control.
Mm,
Here's the
deep.
side effect. If I practice for a year, my higher self gonna keep practicing for me,
Mm,
right? So I started writing scripts of things that I wanted to be able to control in my psyche. I want to control if somebody is sending me information, I need to know how to block it.
mm-hmm.
So I write out a description of the block, what it does, the definition, the intent behind it,
Mm,
right? So now I'm able to cut off this serial killer 2 cells down from me that got me thinking that I want to go out and kill everybody on the land.
right.
Because I'm feeling it so strong with the empathy, but he just a serial killer. He
Right.
don't give a fuck.
You don't
He's a
care.
sociopath. I'm
Yep.
an empath, so I'm getting these serial killers motherfucking messages. I don't want his shit.
You got to know how to block that
I
shit.
gotta deal with I got enough of my own shit to deal with. I don't want to deal with his. So I had to write myself a script. I learned this in a book on automatic writing and writing with intentions. There's a structure in the formula that you use in order to activate the power. As you write it, it's on the 2D.
Mm,
right? Now you just took it from the 4D in your mind and put it into 2D. The side effect is it has to converge somewhere. What's between 2D and 4D?
3.
So that means that it got to converge somewhere in the 3D.
Definitely.
So when you write the script that's in your mind, your mind, it's like putting an app on your phone. Now you can go to that app, right?
It's
So
already there.
right, it's already there. You just use it. So we do the same thing with psychic self-defense. When you learn the technique, then you start writing your defense strategies for your psyche.
That's deep.
Yeah, all this is part of what's going to be in the rites of passage programs we're going to be doing, and you know, all of the chiefs going to have to be teachers. We're going to have to all know this shit.
Oh yeah, I definitely. I mean, I definitely need to, you know, check that out. So make sure you let me know when it's up and popping, man. It's deep. When we talk about meditation, and it's dope because I see you don't meditate like the normal people in the conscious community meditate, just lighting sage, trying to clear your mind, playing some 432 hertz. I teach that like that's like the whole